Hi everyone, my name is Anthony Jung and I'm the Executive Chef of Retail Dining at the University of Massachusetts at Amherst, and today I'm going to show you how to make French onion soup. Alright, so let's take a look at some of the ingredients we'll be utilizing in today's recipe. I've got 3 yellow onions, I've got 1 large, actually very large red onion. I've got 5 garlic cloves here. All right, so let's get started on our prep work here. So we're just going to julienne these guys, but first we gotta take off the skin. So let's start. I just got a container to put our peels in. Take this peel off. As well. And really what you want to do is kind of follow the curve of the onion here, and we're looking for about a 1/4 inch slices here. You can see how the knife is following that curve of the onion, and that ensures that we get uniform juliennes. All right into the pot. You can see that I'm using just kind of a pulling action through the onion, and that just helps keep the onion slices from going everywhere. All right, so let's start on our red onion here. And it's the same technique. Take the bottom and the top off. I just feel that the red onion gives it a little bit of color as well, plus a little bit of a different flavor than the yellow onions. So let's get that skin off. There we go. Ooh, a little peel. There's that peel. All right, I'm just going to take that skin off again. Okay. And we're just going to cut the onion just like before. Put them right in our pot. Oops. All right, so let's start on our garlic cloves here, and I'm just gonna give this a quick smash. The skins. All right, and then we're just going to give this just a very quick rough chop. It doesn't have to be uniform. What we're trying to do is just cut them into small little chunks here. A little garlic skin. Let's get rid of that guy. Right into our pot. All right, so let's bring our pot over to the stove here. Right there, and let's get some canola oil in here. All right, and just a pinch of salt. got my trusty wooden spoon here. And let's turn the heat on to medium high. Let's put on all 3 zones. And so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna sweat the onions and garlic first to really render out the moisture that's in them. And then we're gonna start caramelizing them. So then they're really sweet and then dark brown, which is gonna give a ton of flavor to our soup here. So I have a very nice piece of bread here, and I have some butter here, and we're gonna make some croutons for our soup here. And this is actually what holds the cheese from sinking in to the soup. However, this should also have great flavor and great texture. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna slice this with my knife here, and then I'm gonna hit it with some butter, and then we're gonna toast it in a cast iron skillet. So here we go. And I'm not gonna need all of the bread. Let's get that butter up here. Just a little bit of butter. And at UMass we use a local butter from Vermont. All right, and one last one. Let's take our buttered bread over to here. And you can see I've got my trusty cast iron pan there. And I've got it over kind of medium, almost medium high there. And it's actually up to temperature. And what we're going to do is we're going to toast these little croutons here to give it color, obviously, but some texture and to dehydrate the bread as well. Come on. Those guys are looking pretty good there. Our onions are starting to sweat slightly. And even though it looks like a large amount of onions in here, it's really gonna sweat down and caramelize. And really, it's only gonna be a quarter volume of what we currently have now. All right, so let's take a look at our croutons here, and they look pretty good. So let's give those guys a click here, and just make sure we turn them all over here. All right, it seems like our croutons are just about there. Yeah. You can see that they're fairly toasted and slightly caramelized. And let's take a peek at our onions, and as you can see, they're starting to cook down here. They're starting to caramelize just ever so slightly. And we'll go a little bit longer with these guys, and we'll get to the next step. So our onions have sweated and now have caramelized, and you can see that there's a really nice, deep, rich flavor to the onions here, and you can see that there's a little bit of fond at the bottom, and that's the stuff that sticks to the bottom of the pan, and that's going to make our soup taste really, really good. So let's add, I'm going to add some red wine here, and what we're going to do is reduce this to almost dry. That should take about 10 minutes or so, and then I'll show you the next step. All right, so most of the wine has evaporated here, along with a good amount of the alcohol. And what we're gonna do now is add our beef broth here. Oopsie. We're gonna add a couple bay leaves. And some pepper. All right, so we're gonna bring this up to simmer, and then I'll show you the next step. So maybe the best part about French onion soup is the cheese on top, and I'm gonna utilize two different types of cheese. A very traditional cheese for French onion soup is Gruyere, which comes from Switzerland. Very nutty, very buttery type of cheese. And one that's not traditional is mozzarella. And the reason why I'm gonna use mozzarella is because it's very stringy, it melts really well. So the combination of the two, I get some great flavor and then some great texture. All right, so just bringing the soup off the stove here, and let's finish our soup here. So I have a classic French onion crock here, which my mom has had forever. So let's fill it up with some soup. I'm going to take a couple big ladles here and try to get enough onions. What I want to do is fill it almost all the way to the top. There we go. And just a little more onions. Okay. Going to top with our croutons here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 croutons in there. Okay, and then we're just going to top with our cheese. And we want to make sure we're really generous with this cheese. Really want to top it, because what's going to happen is it's going to melt over the sides and you'll be able to pick at it. It's, I think, one of the hallmarks of a great French onion soup. All right, so let's bring our tray over, our soup. And I've preset the oven to 350 degrees here, so we're going to pop this in, and I'm going to turn on the broiler function and turn that up high. Seems like our French onion soup is done, and that took no time underneath the broiler here. So you can see it's nice and bubbly. And I'm just gonna take this out of the oven, put it right here on my cutting board. But I can close the door. And we have our beautiful, beautiful French onion soup. All right, so here's our finished product. And you can see how the cheese has melted on the side, and you know, you almost just want to like just grab just a little bit of crusty cheese here. So hopefully you found this video educational and that you'll try French onion soup at home.